You know, modern dating has basically become like a data entry job.
Oh, totally. It's exhausting.
Right. I mean, you sit there on your phone staring at a screen, just filtering potential life partners by uh, height or zip code or whether they want kids.
Or they prefer cats over dogs, like it's a shopping list.
Exactly. It's incredibly sterile. I mean, we all desperately want that sweeping romance from a movie, but we're basically using the tools of a corporate accountant to try and find it.
And that friction, that burnout, is exactly why we're seeing such a massive cultural pivot right now.
Yeah, because when you try to mathematically calculate human connection, you inevitably hit a wall.
You do. Because the algorithm, well, it can give you someone who matches all your search criteria perfectly on paper.
But then you sit across from them at a coffee shop and you feel absolutely nothing.
Exactly nothing. Zero chemistry.
And that burnout is so real. Like, if you are listening to this right now and you've ever felt completely exhausted by, drop-down menus and swiping fatigue, you get it. You start looking for a shortcut that isn't just based on data.
So looking for a little bit of magic, honestly.
Right. And that brings us to this booming trend taking over our social feeds right now, which is soulmate sketches.
Which is just wild when you think about it.
It is. People are literally abandoning dating apps and turning to psychic artists like Tina Aldea Psychic Artist to literally draw their future partner.
Yeah, it's a huge shift in how people are approaching love.
It really is. So if you've ever found yourself wishing for a deeper, maybe more intentional approach to finding connection in this fast-paced world, well, that is exactly our mission today. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah. To really understand why someone would pay a psychic to, draw their future spouse, we kind of have to look at the environment that allowed a trend like this to flourish in the first place.
Right, the broader context.
Exactly. Because if you rewind just 10 years ago, practices like astrology or numerology, tarot reading, energy healing, all of that was largely considered fringe.
Oh, totally. Like, you'd have to seek out a very specific niche shop for that.
Right. But today,
Yeah.
I mean, they are a massive part of the mainstream wellness industry. We've seen a complete explosion in spiritual self-discovery over the past decade.
It's everywhere now. I mean, you go from seeing crystals in some tiny metaphysical shop to seeing, like, manifestation journals being sold at major bookstores at the mall.
Yeah, it's completely normalized.
But I'm curious about the real motivation here. Because most people engaging with these tools today, they aren't looking for, like, a literal crystal ball to give them tomorrow's lottery numbers.
No, not at all. The goal for the modern spiritual seeker has fundamentally shifted. It's much less about absolute black and white fortune-telling now.
So what is it about then?
It's really about mindfulness.
Yeah.
People are using these intuitive practices to discover new perspectives about themselves, to remain open to possibilities.
It's like a tool for reflection.
Exactly. They want to cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness. It's about feeling connected to your own life's journey, rather than just feeling like a passenger in it.
Yeah, and right in the middle of this whole mindfulness boom sits this concept of the soulmate, which is fascinating to me.
It is, especially because the definition of a soulmate really seems to shift depending on who you ask in these spiritual communities.
Oh, for sure. I mean, for some people, the belief is very literal, right?
Like a soulmate is the one, a destined partner the universe has uniquely selected for you.
And it's just a matter of time before you magically bump into each other at the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then a growing number of people view soulmates much more symbolically now.
Meaning they aren't necessarily looking for a permanent romantic fixture, like a lifelong spouse.
Exactly the opposite of a permanent fixture in some cases. They see soulmates as catalysts.
Catalyst. Okay, say more about that.
So these are people who come into your life specifically to trigger a major period of growth, whether that's emotionally, spiritually, or just personally.
Oh, wow. So even if the relationship, like, completely blows up after 6 months, it was still a soulmate connection?
Yes, because it forced you to learn a massive lesson.
Yeah.
About your own boundaries or your self-worth. It served its purpose for your transformation.
I actually love that reframe. It takes so much pressure off, right? Like, not every date has to be this high-stakes pass or fail test for marriage.
It completely lowers the stakes while raising the meaning.
Right. But I guess whether you view it literally or symbolically, the core appeal of the soulmate idea is just hope.
Absolutely. It represents deep connection, emotional fulfillment, shared purpose.
Which totally explains why anything related to soulmates performs so incredibly well online right now. People are just starving for it.
They are. They're starving for something that feels personalized and intentional in a world that feels very automated.
Right. But I have to push back just a little bit here.
Okay, go for it.
Because I mentioned earlier that dating apps feel like a sterile data entry job, right? Swiping based on specs. And going the spiritual route, getting a psychic sketch, it definitely feels like opening a personalized mystery novel. It is way more romantic.
Definitely more romantic.
But aren't people just replacing, like, Bumble's algorithm with an astrological algorithm? I mean, is relying on a psychic really any different than relying on a tech company's sorting mechanism?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, this trend isn't actually about filtering candidates at all.
Really? How so?
It's about the direction of your focus.
Yeah.
When you rely on a dating app, you are constantly looking outward, right? You're assessing this never-ending conveyor belt of other people.
Oh, yeah. Swipe, swipe, swipe.
Right. But engaging with a spiritual practice like commissioning a soulmate sketch, that forces you to look inward.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you're evaluating your own desires, your own readiness, the energy you are putting out into the world. It's not just about trying to secure a dinner date for Friday night.
Okay, I hear that, but I'm still struggling a bit with the leap from looking inward to literally paying someone to draw a stranger's face.
It sounds like a jump, I know.
Like, if this is supposed to be an exercise in self-reflection, what is the actual mechanism at play here?
Right. How does it actually work?
Yeah, because when I first heard the term soulmate sketch, I honestly pictured a police sketch artist sitting across from a psychic, like, drawing a suspect.
That is a hilarious image, but no, it's not quite like that.
So what is the actual deliverable you get in your inbox?
So the practitioners creating these sketches, they're not focusing on literal physical blueprints.
Okay.
They aren't channeling that your future husband will have exactly a square jaw and like hazel eyes and a specific haircut.
Right.
Instead, they are tapping into what they describe as energetic impressions.
Wait, how do you draw an energy? Are we talking about, like, abstract colors and shapes on a canvas?
Well, no, it usually does take the form of a human portrait, but the features are meant to be symbolic representations of an energetic state.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the artist is channeling intuitive insights they receive during the reading process. So maybe they pick up on a sense of warmth or stability or maybe like a wild creativity.
And then they translate that vibe into a visual medium.
Exactly.
Okay, but doesn't that contradict the whole point of calling it a sketch?
How do you mean?
Like, if I commission a psychic artist and they draw a guy with a rugged beard and kind eyes, I am absolutely going to go out into the real world and swipe right on every single guy with a beard.
Naturally, yeah.
So isn't this just giving people false confirmation bias? You aren't looking inward anymore. You're just playing Where's Waldo with your love life?
What's fascinating here is that exact psychological mechanism, confirmation bias, is actually what makes this practice so effective for people, but in a positive way.
Wait, really? A positive confirmation bias?
Yes, it ties directly into how our brains process visualization and manifestation practices.
Okay, break that down for me. How does a psychic sketch tie into neuroscience?
Okay, think about the reticular activating system, or the RAS, in your brain.
The RAS, right.
It's basically the filter that decides what information gets through to your conscious mind. Have you ever bought a new car, say like a red Honda, and suddenly you see red Hondas everywhere you go?
Oh, all the time. You think everyone in town bought one the exact same day you did.
Right. But those cars were always there.
Yeah.
Your brain just finally decided they were important enough to notice because you gave it a specific target.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah, visualization works the exact same way. We see this in high performance all the time, like an athlete visualizing the perfect golf swing, or an entrepreneur manifesting a business goal.
Sure, sports psychology uses that constantly.
Exactly. So when someone receives a soulmate sketch, it acts as a visual anchor. It primes their reticular activating system to start noticing specific positive qualities in the people around them.
So if the sketch radiates this energy of, say, quiet stability, my brain is suddenly primed to actually notice the quiet, stable guy at the office.
Yes.
The guy who I previously ignored because I was too busy chasing, like, chaotic, exciting guys.
Precisely. The literal face on the paper matters far less than the intentionality and the reflection it sparks in the seeker.
That is so interesting.
Right. You aren't looking for an exact physical match. You are using the art as a focal point to clarify your relationship goals.
It's like when you spend time looking at an artistic representation of loving, healthy energy, it just helps you recognize those healthy qualities when you actually encounter them in real life.
Exactly. It makes you more intentional in your dating.
It's essentially like creating a vision board for your heart.
I love that phrasing. Yes.
But, I mean, we should probably be clear here for the audience. There is absolutely no scientific proof that visualization alone determines future events, right?
Right. Of course.
Like, you can't just stare at a charcoal drawing and conjure a spouse out of thin air.
No, no. We have to remain grounded in reality here. Visualization doesn't change the fabric of the universe.
Right.
It changes the person doing the visualizing.
Yeah.
But that alone is highly beneficial emotionally.
Yeah, because it changes your mindset.
Exactly. It helps maintain a positive mindset, which inherently changes how you carry yourself on a date, which in turn changes the outcome of the date.
So it's a motivating factor in this broader personal development practice.
It really is.
And it is clearly motivating a massive number of people right now. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
If this exercise is so deeply personal, like so reflective and inward-facing, like you said,
Yeah.
why has it suddenly become this massive, highly public, viral phenomenon? I mean, you would think people would want to keep this super private.
You would think so. Yeah.
But instead, they're broadcasting it to the entire internet. Like, does putting this deeply personal experience on TikTok change or dilute the spiritual intimacy of it?
Well, it's kind of the ultimate paradox of the modern internet consumer.
How so?
We crave deep, private, spiritual intimacy, but our default mode of processing that intimacy today is to share it on TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, you name it.
That's so true. If you don't post it, did it even happen?
Right. And the specific type of content driving this soulmate sketch trend is highly emotional, which social media algorithms love.
Oh, I've seen them. It's basically the unboxing video format, but for your soul.
Yes, exactly.
People are literally filming their raw reactions the exact moment they open the email containing their soulmate sketch.
And the reactions are intense.
Totally. Some of them are crying, some are just shocked because the drawing somehow looks like someone they already know.
Right.
And then you get all the follow-up videos, the before and after relationship stories, the psychic reading reviews, the deep dives into their manifestation journeys.
And we really have to ask why people are doing this. And it goes right back to human nature.
Meaning?
We are highly visual creatures. We need a tangible anchor for this abstract concept of hope.
Ah, that makes sense.
Like a written psychic reading or just a daily horoscope, it doesn't have the same visceral, shareable impact as a beautifully drawn portrait.
A block of text isn't going to go viral the way a striking image will.
Exactly. By sharing these sketches, people are taking these very niche, intuitive services and forcing them right into the mainstream.
They are essentially turning a private spiritual reading into a huge community-building event.
That's exactly what it is. It fosters these massive shared conversations online about love, vulnerability, and honestly, the universal fear of ending up alone.
Wow, yeah.
When someone posts their sketch and talks openly about their hope for the future, thousands of strangers in the comments can relate to that vulnerability. It creates instant community.
Which naturally brings us to the creators fueling this whole thing. Tina Aldea, Psychic Artist, is probably one of the prime examples of this entire trend right now.
Oh, absolutely. She's a perfect example. She seems to have perfectly captured this current market demand.
Yeah, and what makes her service so indicative of this specific moment in time is how she combines psychic intuition with actual, artistic creativity.
Right. It's not just a generic reading.
Exactly. Instead of just offering a written paragraph about your future, she provides a highly personalized sketch based on her intuitive energy reading.
She's giving people that tangible anchor we just talked about.
Right. And the portrait represents the essence of a potential soulmate. But her service actively encourages the client to use the art to reflect on their own love journey, just like we've been saying.
And the scale of this is just staggering. Thousands of individuals worldwide have used it to add some inspiration to their search for love.
Thousands. That's huge.
It is. But this taps into another massive sociological trend we're seeing everywhere right now. The modern consumer's demand for hyper-personalization.
Oh, 100%. We don't want generic advice anymore. We're so past that.
Not at all. Generic relationship advice in a magazine feels completely useless now.
Like those old quizzes in the back of a magazine.
Right. We see this across the entire wellness space. It's the exact same reason people don't just read their generic sun sign horoscope in the newspaper anymore.
No, they want a fully customized 20-page birth chart interpretation.
Exactly. They want numerology reports based on their exact minute and location of birth. Receiving something created uniquely for your own specific spiritual journey just feels profoundly more meaningful to people today?
Because we want to feel seen as individuals,
Mm.
especially in a dating culture that basically treats us like interchangeable data points, like we said at the start.
Exactly.
A custom sketch from someone like Tina Aldea feels like an injection of wonder into a process that has become entirely clinical.
That's a great way to put it.
But, with all this viral hype, millions of views on TikTok, thousands of people ordering these sketches, how do participants keep from getting lost in the fantasy of it all?
It's a real risk, for sure.
Because there is a very dangerous misconception out there about psychic experiences in general.
Oh, definitely. The biggest danger, by far, is the expectation of certainty.
Certainty, right.
People often mistakenly believe that a psychic experience is an ironclad promise of what will happen tomorrow.
They treat it like a spoiler for a movie they haven't even finished watching yet.
That is exactly it. And spirituality isn't about absolute answers. It's about the journey, developing self-awareness.
Right.
When people treat these sketches as factual forecasts, they are setting themselves up for massive disappointment.
Because if they don't meet a guy who looks exactly like the charcoal drawing within, say, 6 months, they feel like the universe has completely abandoned them.
Right, they lose hope entirely, which is the exact opposite of what the tool is meant for. It's crucial to balance curiosity with realistic expectations.
So what does this all mean?
Right.
Like, if we are acknowledging that this shouldn't be treated as a literal map, right?
Right.
And we treat it merely as an imaginative exercise or quote-unquote just art, does that diminish its psychic value? Or is that actually the healthiest way to engage with it?
This raises an important question, and the answer is that approaching spirituality with an open yet balanced mindset doesn't kill the magic. It actually protects it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It is exactly what keeps the experience enjoyable and deeply respectful of the individual's personal journey. These sketches should be viewed as inspirational experiences and personal keepsakes, not factual forecasts.
Right, because if you demand absolute certainty, you're just going right back to the data entry mindset.
Yes, you're demanding an algorithm again.
Wow, yeah. You're wanting a guarantee, not a connection.
Exactly. When you approach it as an opportunity for self-awareness rather than a guaranteed prediction, you allow the psychic reading to do its actual job, which is prompting personal growth. You can appreciate the creative, reflective aspects of the sketch without paralyzing your actual real-world dating life by just waiting around for a phantom.
It makes it safe to engage with. It's a tool for inspiration. And I think we really need to emphasize the psychological utility of hope here.
Yes, hope is so important.
Because it is very easy to be cynical about, paying for a psychic drawing online. But hope has a very practical, measurable utility.
It is incredibly practical. Think about someone who has recently gone through a devastating heartbreak.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone who is moving to a brand new city and starting completely over.
Yeah.
The dating apps often just make them feel hopeless.
The algorithms make them feel totally invisible.
Yeah.
And when you feel hopeless, you don't go out. You don't strike up conversations at a coffee shop. You just close yourself off.
You stay on the couch.
Exactly. But if a soulmate sketch, even if you view it purely as a psychological tool, if it inspires a spark of optimism, that optimism actively changes your behavior. It helps people start new chapters. It encourages you to get out of the house.
It breaks the cycle.
Right. It helps you remain open to meeting new people that you might otherwise just ignore. It builds the confidence required to believe that a meaningful relationship is actually possible.
So it's a catalyst for action. In that sense, soulmate sketches symbolize possibility rather than prediction.
Possibility rather than prediction is honestly the perfect summary of this entire cultural moment.
Yeah.
The booming popularity of these sketches isn't about people just being gullible. It's a direct reflection of our broader desire to combine creativity, intuition, and self-discovery in a world that just feels increasingly automated.
People just want to feel something real again. And artists like Tina Aldea, they found this massive audience precisely because they offer a fresh, visually engaging way to reflect on the qualities we actually value in our relationships, completely bypassing the whole swipe left, swipe right culture.
Whether someone views their sketch as a profound, literal psychic intervention or just a beautiful artistic exercise in visualization, the end result is very often the same. It opens them up to genuine connection.
And that openness really is the victory here. Well, Well, we have covered a lot of fascinating ground today.
We really have.
We started by looking at the broader spiritual wellness boom, unpacking why so many people are abandoning sterile, algorithmic dating apps in favor of intuition and mindfulness.
Right.
Then we broke down the underlying mechanics of these sketches, revealing how they capture symbolic, energetic impressions. And we explored the neuroscience of how these visual anchors prime our brains to recognize healthy relationships.
And we also dug into the sociology of it all. Why these deeply private moments are exploding on platforms like TikTok, driven by our deep-seated need for tangible proof of hope and hyper-personalized experiences.
And finally, we grounded it all in the critical importance of healthy expectations. We explored the practical psychological utility of hope, reminding ourselves that these sketches are not factual forecasts, but tools for inspiration. In your own search for connection, maintaining curiosity and openness really is the ultimate goal.
Beautifully said. The tools and the technology will always change, but that fundamental human desire to be seen and understood never does.
So, as we sign off today, I want to leave you with one final, lingering thought to mull over. If a soulmate sketch uses visualization to help you clarify your goals, and if it trains your brain to focus on the emotional qualities you truly value, maybe the person you're actually discovering in that portrait isn't just a future stranger. What if the sketch is actually a mirror? What if it's just reflecting your own evolving self-awareness, your own boundaries, and your own readiness for love right back to you? The next time you find yourself endlessly swiping on an app feeling like you're just doing data entry, ask yourself what kind of magic you're really looking for.